Here is my experience. Not advice, not a tutorial, not a hack. Just what my morning did to me. I wake up like a glitch. Alarm betrayed me. Sun is already disrespectful. Interview day. Big deal. Career shift. Serious energy. I am not serious. My shirt is ironed. My soul is not. I drink coffee to unclog my brain. That's the plan. Sip. Breathe. Mantra. I will be normal. I will be employable. I will be the girl boss of a single chair. The cup slips. My hand says no. Gravity says yes. Coffee lands on shirt like a signature. A brown dramatic abstract disaster. Right over the heart. Stain that screams, hire me. I am chaos. I freeze. I negotiate with liquid. I dab. I scrub. I Google. It gets worse. My shirt looks like it lost a fight with espresso. Time dissolves. I spiral. I give a TED talk to my mirror. First slide says, why me? I consider canceling. I consider running. I consider faking a power outage. I consider moving to a field and speaking to wheat. My roommate yells from the other room. There's a jacket in my closet. Use it. It is neon, not yellow, not green. Loud neon. The kind of color you can taste. I say that's illegal. I say I will look like a traffic cone with healthcare. I try it on anyway. The mirror screams, but also claps. I look like a billboard for decisions. Fine. I choose chaos as my stylist. I leave. Heartbeat is in my teeth. I am late, but loudly present. I speed walk to the cafe for caffeine redemption. Because I believe in second chances. Not for shirts, but for souls. Barista sees me. Eyes widen. Is that neon for the timeline? Are you filming? Am I filming? I blink. My neon says yes. My mouth says maybe. Barista whispers. Are you that creator with the ducks? I am not. I want to be. I say something unserious and suspiciously confident. I say we're doing a social experiment on accountability and the color spectrum. They nod like it makes sense. They hand me a latte. On the house. Free latte unlocked. Influencer mode speedrun. I drink the latte like it's plot armor. Look at me. Clinging to a free drink and a lie. Wearing a highlighter jacket like a prophecy. I am the city's hazard beacon now. I accept the role. I call an Uber. Because walking will ignite me. The car pulls up. The driver looks at my jacket. He smiles. You again. Me again. We have never met. He plays music. The first song hits. It's my anthem. Not legally my anthem, but the one that turns my bones to confetti. The one I blast when I'm delusional and brave. He cranks it. He says this came up on shuffle. He says the universe does that sometimes. The dashboard agrees. The jacket agrees. I do finger choreography with my anxiety. We drive. I rehearse interview answers in my head. I will pivot. I will problem solve. I will speak in bullet points and eye contact. Yes, I spilled coffee. No, I will not spill the company. The city outside gets louder. Sirens that aren't sirens. Crowds appear like the world pressed on mute. People with banners. Families with snacks. Music that is not coming from inside my ribcage. The driver turns a corner. We meet a parade. I did not RSVP to a parade. But the parade RSVP'd to me. It stretches down the main street like a timeline of joy. The driver sighs. Road is blocked. We sit. We watch dancers passing like neon in motion. My jacket looks like it belongs. I look like an extra who refused to leave. A volunteer waves at our car. They point at me. They gesture big. Come on out. I point at myself. Me. They nod. I step out like a pixel escaping a screen. The volunteer's lanyard says logistics. Their smile says chaos. They squint at my jacket. You're the coordinator, right? You're in neon. You must be important. I swallow a fun-sized truth. I say I can be. They hand me a sash. It says Honorary Duck Marshal. I read it twice. Duck. Marshal. Okay. Questions swirl. Do ducks need a marshal? Do I know ducks? Have I met a duck on purpose? But the parade has momentum. The ducks are here. Real ducks. Little waddling circles of opinions. They march like they own the sidewalk lease. A kid hands me a tiny megaphone. The crowd cheers. The driver laughs from the car like he bet on ridiculous and won. I stand at the front. I accept the ridiculous. I walk. The ducks waddle behind like supportive grandparents. The sash itches. The neon glows. The city cameras swivel. There is a live stream. News drones float. People wave signs I cannot read. A marching band I have never met plays my anthem again. I laugh because the simulation is chatty. I announce things to the ducks. Single words. Left, right, sleigh. They do not care, they do their duck business. I adapt fast. I learn how to respect a duck's agenda. It is firm, it is small steps, it is all vibes. I guide families. I high-five strangers. I compliment a dog's eyebrows. I own the bit. I am the bit. I am the tiny god of poultry traffic. Someone asks for a selfie. I say yes. Someone else says, is she the influencer? The barista from earlier appears like a plot twist. They wave at the camera. They chant my name as if I told them my name. I didn't, but the city has chosen. Minutes turn to a highlight reel. I direct strollers around puddles like a Michelin star crossing guard. I adjust the pace so the ducks do not unionize. I do crisis management when a toddler yeets a cracker and 5 ducks declare a detour. I apologize to the marching band because our quack squad chooses jazz timings. I become fluent in parade. It is a language of hand signals and hollers. I make decisions without a committee. I flip failures into features. I laugh loudly so the crowd knows we are safe. My brain stands upright. My body is a microphone for a day I did not plan. We reach the town square. There is a stage. I am pushed onto it by kindness and confusion. City official says words into a microphone about community and joy. They call me radiant highlighter of the ducks. I pretend that is a normal title. They crown me with a tiny hat shaped like a duck bill. I bow. I accept this crumb of destiny. The live stream zooms in. Comments go feral. Someone types best Marshall. Someone types neon queen. Someone types plot armor energy. I breathe. I accidentally lock eyes with the camera like it owes me rent. Across town, in a very silent office, an interviewer is watching. Because fate is bored. Because algorithms are nosy. They sip their coffee. They see me marshal birds with confidence, like I was born in a pond. They feel something like relief. They have been looking for a new role. Chaos Wrangler. A job that's half project manager, half therapist, half firefighter, half golden retriever at a birthday party. Math is fake, but vibes are real. Back at the square, I give a speech to no one and everyone. Thank you to the ducks for their leadership. Thank you to my jacket for surviving. Thank you to my coffee for betraying me into purpose. The crowd screams. The ducks blink. A breeze says keep going. Someone from the city hands me a tote bag. Inside is a coupon for bread. I will not feed them bread. I have learned something. We respect duck nutrition. I finally check my phone. 17 messages from the interview team. Are you close? Are you lost? Are you safe? Is that you on the city live stream? I am many things. I am late. I am visible. I am neon with a title. I call them. I explain with breathless honesty. I spilled coffee on my shirt. I wore neon. A barista invented my brand. An Uber driver played my anthem. A parade hired me without paperwork. I am now the honorary duck marshal. I can come right now. Or I can come with a group of ducks. Whatever matches the job description. On the phone, there is silence. Then laughter that sounds like relief, holding hands with awe. A voice says, come to the office. Keep the sash. Bring your tenacity. We have questions. We might have a job. I say the city is still happening. They say we can watch together. I arrive 10 minutes later because the parade dissolved into snacks. My Uber driver gives me a salute, like I survived a mini-movie. I salute back with the megaphone. In the elevator, I practice a serious face. The mirror reflects a cartoon. I look like a traffic sign with feelings. But my chest is calm, because I did an impossible thing. I turned a panic into a procession. The receptionist smiles like she's been watching this show. The team is gathered around a laptop. My face is frozen on the screen mid-giggle with a duck in the foreground looking judgy. They pause the video. We all stare. I say, yes, that is me. Yes, that is a duck with opinions. We sit. I take off the tiny hat because I fear HR. I keep the sash because it is now my spine. They ask what happened. I tell them everything in chapters. Chapter 1, Betrayal Beverage. Chapter 2, Neon Consequences. Chapter 3, Free Latte and Identity Theft of the Self. Chapter 4, The Uber Shuffle That Summoned Destiny. Chapter 5, Parade Insertion. Chapter 6, Quack Management. Chapter 7, Tiny Hat, Big Responsibility. They ask what I learned. I do not blink. I learned that crisis is just a story begging for a better narrator. I learned that leadership sometimes looks like walking at duck speed. I learned that visibility is a tool, not a trophy. I learned that neon makes you easy to follow in a crowd and in a meeting. I learned to accept luck without apologizing. I learned to build structure in motion. I learned that the universe loves a clown with a calendar. They nod like they are trying not to adopt me. They ask how I handle pressure. I point at my morning. I point at the live stream. I point at the sash. I say I held space for birds, children, bands, and a timeline. I say I held even more space for myself. I say I didn't cry. I say I might cry later, but strategically, with snacks. They ask what I would do as a chaos wrangler. I smile because the title fits like a shoe I invented. I would be the person who sees a spill and makes it a pathway. I would be the person who names the panic and assigns it a task. I would be the person who knows which fire is a candle and which is a forest. I would be the person who turns surprises into systems and emergencies into case studies. I would build rituals for uncertainty. I would make calm contagious. And when panic shows up in a neon jacket, I will greet it like an intern on day one and teach it where the staplers live. They laugh. They ask for specifics. I talk about checklists that flex in real time. I talk about color coding by energy, not just by priority. I talk about creating a command center in the cloud for messy days. I talk about debriefs that celebrate improvisers and define repeatable magic. I talk about metrics that track stress rituals, not just deadlines. I talk about keeping a tiny megaphone on the desk as a reminder to broadcast clarity, not volume. I talk about duck lessons, short steps, clear cues, make the path obvious, feed the team real food, don't chase every crumb. Stay cute under pressure. Someone asks if I always wear neon. I say only when the day needs a lighthouse. They say consider this day lit. They ask about failure. I say failure is data wearing a silly hat. Sometimes literally. They ask about conflict. I say we can route disagreements like a parade routes a stroller. Slow it down. Make room. Hold the line. Keep the music going. They ask for my portfolio. I hand them my phone with the live stream saved. I scroll to the part where a duck refuses to move until a child stops crying. We watch the duck wait. We watch the child calm. We watch the crowd soften. I say this is a case study on collective nervous system regulation, moderated by a bird. They blink. They accept that sentence into their souls. They ask about boundaries. I say, I will not feed ducks bread. I will not feed chaos permission to be cruel. I will not feed my fear the microphone.
But I will feed the team time, clarity, and snacks. A manager looks at my stained shirt peeking out from under the neon. They ask if I'm going to keep the jacket on. I say only if the moment requires high visibility. They smile. It does. They step out to confer. My stomach does gymnastics. I sit in a chair that squeaks like it knows secrets. I stare at the tiny duck hat in my lap. I whisper to it like a talisman. You did great today. We did great today. We will nap later. The door opens. They come back in with a grin that looks like problem solved. We want to offer you the role. Title, Chaos Wrangler. We have never had one. We should have always had one. We saw you build order in a live environment with unfamiliar stakeholders and very opinionated waterfowl. We saw your ability to network in 5 minutes and rally a crowd with humor and clarity. We saw you handle attention without becoming greedy for it. We saw you love the moment without lying about it. We think you can love our mess. I nod. I say yes. I do not scream. I do not faint. But inside, confetti. We talk logistics, start date, compensation, expectations, boundaries. They say you will be external facing sometimes. I say I can glow when needed. They say there are internal fires that need care. I say I can breathe on them the right way. They ask for a motto. I offer one. Guided by ducks, empowered by neon, fueled by betrayal coffee. They write it down as a joke that is not a joke. It becomes a slide in my onboarding deck. We shake hands. They hand me a welcome packet. It is surprisingly cute. We take a photo on a phone that belongs to someone named Dave, who will be my new manager. I hold the tiny hat up like a trophy. Dave does the same because he gets it. I leave the office, floating 5 inches above the ground. The city is calmer. The parade is now a whisper of confetti and tired children. The barista spots me again. They yell influencer. I yell employee. We split the difference and yell duck lady together. I walk past a fountain that almost talks. It tells me the story of the morning. I repeat it back. Coffee spilled. Panic rose. Jacket shouted. Barista assumed. Latte free. Uber anthem. Parade appeared. Sash bestowed. Ducks obeyed when they felt respected. Cameras watched. Interviewer noticed. Job invented. Job offered. Life pivoted. I whisper to the fountain and to myself. My morning panic became my career. This is my experience. It tastes like espresso and sunshine and adrenaline. It looks like neon in daylight. It sounds like a marching band practicing resilience. Here is what it taught me. You cannot control the spill. You can control the story. Neon is just confidence with a zipper. Influence is a mirror, not a crown. Anthems are invitations. Parades are practice for leadership. Ducks are co-workers with low tolerance for nonsense and high tolerance for crumbs. Live streams are windows you did not know you were next to. Titles can be invented by necessity. Chaos can be wrangled when you name it, feed it tasks, and walk beside it like a duck. I want to say I planned this. I did not. I want to say I manifest daily with charts and stars. I do not. I want to say the universe is a vending machine, and I put quarters in. I did not have quarters. I had a stain and a choice. Sometimes the door is not a door. Sometimes the door is a sash and a laugh and a bird that needs space. Sometimes the interview is public, and the answer is your posture when the world surprises you. The day ends with me on my couch. The neon jacket hangs like a lighthouse on a chair. The tiny hat guards a plant. I exhale and the room returns from Technicolor to soft normal. My phone pings with a meeting invite for Monday. Subject line says Chaos Wrangler Kickoff. Agenda says Shared Duck Learnings. I add a bullet point. Bring tiny megaphone for morale. I text my mom. Got the job. She types back 3 sentences that hug me through the phone. I text my roommate. Jacket worked. They reply with a single word. Obviously, I scroll the comments on the live stream. Half the city is now a duck scholar. Someone made a fan account for the sash. Someone drew me as a superhero with a whistle and webbed feet. I laugh until I choke on a memory of the spill. I toast my own survival with tea. I honor the morning's betrayal for rerouting me. I set an alarm for tomorrow. But I know now, if the alarm fails, I will not. Because I carry a little parade inside. Because I am practiced in the art of redirecting panic into plot. Because I am the kind of person who will always pick up the megaphone and say, left, right, slay, with respect for the ducks. To anyone listening who collects experiences like trading cards, this is a rare holographic one. It shines when tilted toward chaos. It teaches when held up to the light. It asks you to lead with humor. It dares you to show up in neon and make room for smaller feet. The experience looks wild. It was also gentle. It was neighbors waving and strangers high-fiving. It was a barista believing in me before I believed in myself. It was a driver sharing a song that reset my nervous system. It was a city saying yes where I had expected a no. It was a team recognizing that my best interview happened on a street, not in a conference room. I could end this with advice. I won't. I respect your path too much to make it a list. But I will repeat my refrain for anyone who needs language. You cannot control the spill. You can control the story. Tell the story with color. Tell the story with warmth. Tell the story with duck speed and human grace. Tell the story like an anthem someone else might hear at the right corner, on the right day, and feel emboldened to step into the street and marshal their own flock of surprises. My experience is not a blueprint, but it is proof. Proof that panic is a door in costume. Proof that embarrassment can be an entrance. Proof that a morning can turn career if you meet it halfway, neon and all. When I close my eyes now, I see the city square. I see the line we made without paint. I see the ducks taking tiny steps like they practiced kindness. I see the crowd holding laughter and listening in equal measure. I see a camera capturing a moment that would have been invisible without the jacket. I see my reflection for once not hiding behind cool detachment. I see a person showing up, out loud. I have become fluent in yes. Yes to being seen. Yes to being ridiculous in service of coordination. Yes to narrating mess without shaming it. Yes to being hired for something I used to do for free inside my own head. Tomorrow I will buy a new shirt. It will be boring on purpose. But the neon is not retiring. It will wait. It will sit in the closet like a switch for visibility. The sash will hang next to it, whispering remember. Remember the parade that made you real. Remember the coffee that was a plot twist. Remember the anthem that turned a commute into a calling. Remember the ducks who taught you to wrangle without force. If your life gives you a morning like mine, hold it gently. Do not punch it. Do not apologize for it. Treat it like a tiny duck with a big schedule. Guide it. Name it. Laugh at it. Let others laugh with you. That is how you make a mess into a memory, and a memory into momentum. This was not fate alone. This was not luck alone. This was an unplanned internship in leadership. It was an unpaid residency in self-trust. It was a permission slip I forged with neon ink and gave to myself. I will end where it began, with coffee. I still drink it. I still spill sometimes. But when I do, I look at the stain and I ask, what story do you want? And then I choose a story worth shouting down a street. My name is Honorary Duck Marshal for a day. Chaos Wrangler for hire. Human forever. My experience is a timeline of little yeses in a city that loves noise. If you're listening at home, waiting for permission, here it is, loud and kind. Wear the neon. Take the free latte. Let the anthem play. Step into the parade when it finds you. Accept the tiny hat. Wave at the camera. Call the interviewer. Tell them your morning. Tell them your mess. Tell them you can wrangle, because you already did. This is the part where I breathe. This is the part where the credits would roll. But life keeps going. Monday will come with meetings and calendars and projects. I will show up with systems and jokes and empathy. I will build containers for chaos so that teens can be brave without burning out. I will collect tiny duck moments in a notebook like field notes on humanity. And when someone spills coffee before a big day, I will say the line. You cannot control the spill. You can control the story. Then I will hand them a towel. Then I will hand them a neon jacket. Then I will turn on our anthem. Then we will walk, at duck speed, together. My morning panic became my career. That is not a punchline. That is the genre of my life now. High energy, low ego, bright jacket, clear voice, soft heart, firm hand, parade pace, office brain, chaos wrangled, story told, experience collected, experience shared, experience ongoing.